Spicy's in the house, my people, and let's have some fun with IDontWorkHereLady stories today. Congratulations, A-Ross, for the comment of the day. I've been yelled at in Mandarin at Bunnings. I am in the middle of replacing a kitchen, and today I was trying, unsuccessfully, to order a customized bench top at Bunnings at their special orders desk. For those outside New Zealand, Bunnings is a DIY wannabe place where you might find what you need at inflated prices and dubious quality. The staff wears a shocking red tee with a big logo on the back and a khaki apron. It is virtually impossible to not understand who works there and who is a customer. Back to the story. I was working with a kitchen expert on the size, color, and price of the aforementioned bench top, and she walked away to the printer to pick up the plan. The special orders desk is right in the middle of the kitchen and bathroom department, and right behind me there was this massive display with taps and faucets and all sorts of kitcheny and bathroomy doodas. While I was daydreaming about a surprisingly small price for my order, I hear behind me what I initially thought it was a very late and angry Santa. Ho ho ho! I turn around to see what is the commotion, and I see a couple of pin-sized Asians, one of them holding to dear life to a laundry tap screwed to the display wall. Side note, I was wearing a grey tee, jeans short, summer here and a hot day for Auckland, and sandals. Definitely not a Bunnings attire. I look at the two ad hoc comedians and smile. Their genuine concern regarding the well-being of that display tap was a bit too much. This was not an unexpected reaction, as they started frowning and shaking the tap while chattering quickly in Mandarin. I am white, European, and my knowledge of any Asian languages stops at knowing they exist. I smile again and realize I am in the middle of a big IDontWorkHereLady crisis, and all I can come out with is, "Yes, that's a tap, what about it?" Definitely not the expected reaction. Probably I was supposed to jump off the chair and go and find that bloody tap for them. The guy holding it raised his voice, still in Mandarin, and furiously shaking the poor thing, which finally gave up and came off the display wall. At this stage, the lady working with me comes back with the printed plans, and I focus on that. Another big mistake, which annoyed greatly our impatient plumber. As he came around the desk we were sitting at, smashed down the type attached to the display plate thing, and started yelling at me about what I suspect was my abysmal customer service abilities. It took the best part of 10 minutes, two staff members, who somehow managed to find a third one speaking Mandarin, to calm the guy down. Explain him that not everyone in the store is an employee, even if they sit down in front of a PC and find his washing machine tap. I still was not able to get my bench top, as there has been some software update and the system cannot price length with decimal points. I have to go back Monday, and I hope I won't end up with a shower head up my ass. Berated in Chili's lobby by manager. When I was in college, back around the turn of the century, I was meeting some friends at Chili's. In retrospect, kinda funny we ate there a lot. I probably haven't been in one in 18 years. Anyway, I am wearing jeans and a red polo shirt, which was apparently the brand new Chili's uniform, and you can probably guess where this is going. This was before smartphones, so I am just kind of sitting there in the little waiting area, zoning out and staring off into the middle distance like we used to have to do a lot in those days, when suddenly I am being yelled at. "Get up! What do you think you're doing?" I instinctively stand up. Had I sat on someone's child or something? What makes you think you can just sit around? This was when I realized this is the manager of the Chili's and he is very angry. It took him another 30 seconds of yelling before he realizes that I don't work there and I am in fact a customer. I did not stop him, as I was kind of amused once the shock wore off. I could tell by the look on his face that he had suddenly realized I was not an employee. He was mortified and gave us a nice discount on our meal. To this day, I am extremely cautious about wearing clothes that will make me look like I work somewhere though. Even if you were an employee, A good manager does not berate an employee in front of customers, and a good manager knows who his staff are and does not rely on shirt color to know who is supervising. Everyone keep a cool head. This happened 25 years ago. I've been called back from an overseas posting. My father had had a succession of heart attacks and it did not look good. 30 hours of emergency compassionate flights later, and I was back in Australia from Germany. I moved in with my mother to help her. She did not realize just how bad things were. 1 a.m., phone call from the hospital. Come now. My mother did not appreciate the gravity of the situation, that we had to go immediately. I slowly told her that yes, it was time to panic, just calmly. As my father had told me the previous day, when he was still in reasonable shape, everybody keep a cool head. We got there, and my mother stayed outside the ward as by this time the realization was starting to hit. I entered the ward and my father was there, conscious, but then went into full cardiac arrest as I was walking to him. You have probably all seen the events in reality TV shows. The crash cart, the paddles, injection of adrenaline directly into the heart, the well-coordinated professional team in action. It was important that a patient be reassured, so I held his hand and commanded him to stay with me. Keep breathing, only letting go and putting my hands up when the paddles were applied. Everyone came running, and some specialists in CV still groggy at being roused from sleep at home. Others duty staff in scrubs. The team got him restarted. The sweetest sinus rhythm I've ever seen on a monitor. No more tombstones. I just kept out of the way. This is the first rule in such situations, and let those who knew what they were doing do their job while I provided calm but forceful patient support. According to them, I made a difference. As they did this, a gaggle of interns came up, also keeping out of their way and observing. Crashes like this with a successful outcome, textbook cases, are rare. Maybe 1 in 4 resurrections are successful. They needed to learn. As like everyone there, they had to be both compassionate and coolly professional. As I backed away, the only one there not completely busy putting gear away, attention monitors, etc., one of the interns asked me about the patient's history and other details. I had to say I was not part of the medical team. I was just the patient's daughter. Just keeping a cool head as my daddy wanted me to. Not quite the usual "I don't work here lady" story, but close enough. It also has the virtue of being true. Well, damn, this stressed me out, girl. I felt like I was there. I'm just glad there was a competent team there to give you a little longer with your father, and thanks for the story. Damn, that was stressful. I am not a waitress in a hipster cafe. There is a little hipster cafe I like that does great brunches. It is always busy, so I cleared a table of newspapers and coffee cups so I could sit down. I was wearing a maxi dress and sandals. The cafe staff wear brown aprons, logo t-shirts and jeans or shorts. Excuse me, I've been waiting for my eggs Benedict for ages. Oh, I don't work here. So why are you clearing a table then? You obviously do. So I can sit down? Whatever. Can you just go and tell the kitchen to hurry up, please? Nope. I'm a customer like you. Well, maybe you should not dress like a waitress then. It's very confusing for people. At that point, an actual waiter came over. The woman glared at me as I chatted politely to the waiter. I am on friendly terms with the staff. Well, obviously you work here. Why are the staff chatting to you? Because I'm nice and I come here all the time. Obviously, I could not just be a friendly person who sees waiters as equals and chats to them. Stop hiding your apron and logo shirt and go to work, you lazy no good person. To ham or not to ham. When I worked for a furniture clearance shop, my uniform was black cargo pants, steel toe boots, and a durable orange and black top. Regretfully, as practical as said outfit was, the only lettering upon it was the large staff across the shoulder blades. Next door to my store was a little generic supermarket where I tended to buy lunches for myself and my crew. Working in furniture clearance shop was pretty physical, so we ate a lot for our lunches. So I go into the generic supermarket, grab a basket, and start filling up. I get multiples of each item because we all tend to eat the same crap, including several packets of ham slices. Cue querulous middle-aged lady, and I will be me. Are you reducing that? I would have it if you are. Sorry? That ham, it's going out of date. I will have it. I am confused. No? It would only go to waste. Give it here. I am still not twigged. No, there's more on the shelf there if you want. But I want the cheap one. Put a sticker on it and get on with your job. There's a good lad. I begin to see. Ah, no. This is my yam. You see, I don't... Look, don't give me any mouth. Give me the yam. Just no. Buy your own. She looks at me up and down. Do you know how much money I've spent in here, you little poop? Give me the ham. I don't work here. Lady has the grace not to say anything as she flushes and walks off hamless. She must have really wanted some cheap ham. We deserve an apology. Alright, IK is innocent kid, AM annoying mother, me is me, B is boss. So my sister got a job helping people learn how to shoot a bow and arrow, and I went to see them shoot. All of them were pretty decent. But then, as I am watching, and I've been watching for 15 minutes, a woman and her son come up to me and ask if I could help them. This is how the conversation went. Hello, my son does not understand how to load the bow. Can you help us? I don't know how to load a bow. Sorry, I don't know. Unbelievable. The boss did not even teach you how to load a bow? And I still don't understand. Before I carry on, I want to say the people they will hire were around 11 and 18. I was 10, but I look like 11 years old. Back to the story. I am going to tell the boss about this. I finally understand what's going on. Sorry, I don't work here. And now you're going to lie to me? Miss, I do not work here. I'm telling the boss about this, and she walks off. I continue to watch until I get a tap on my shoulder. It is the boss, and this is what he says. Why aren't you helping the annoyed woman? Because I don't work here? Oh, and he turns back to the annoyed mother. He does not work here. Well, give us an apology for wasting your time. I just ignore her. The annoyed mother's face goes red as she proceeds to grab the innocent kid and drag him home. The innocent kid is still holding the bow and arrow. The innocent kid escapes her clutches and runs back to us and gives the boss the bow and arrow and apologizes, and he runs back to his mom. The last thing we heard of the annoyed mother was her scolding the innocent kid, saying stuff like, "You should have took that bow and arrow because they took our precious time." I kid you not, that's what she said. I do work here. Actually, I am the one to hire you. So I am hiring an instructor for a language class. $50 an hour plus planning time. I have full responsibility with the hiring since I got the grant and it is my project. However, I always like colleagues to come to do the interviews because I have a really bad sense of first impressions. This time, I asked 3 of my colleagues and the co-instructor to come to the interview. It was at my classroom and I am finishing and cleaning up. The candidate, a man, shows up 5 minutes early, sees me, and says he will wait in the hallway. I say, "Do come in." I keep putting the chairs on the tables, cleaning up. He sits on a chair, opens his leg, and asks me if I have been here long. And I say, "You are Mr. So-and-so." "Yes, I am new. I used to work as a lecturer at your university, etc. This is my classroom. I am waiting for a couple of colleagues and they should be here in 5 minutes. He stays there and checks his phone. 5 minutes go by and colleagues are not here. I don't want to stay overtime, so I tell the guy I am going to start the interview. I will be writing notes on the computer if it's okay. He says, "Sure." Questions about background, experience, motivation, etc. His answers are one word. Male colleagues appears. "Crap, I forgot about this." Candidate stands up. Firm handshake. Starts using formal you. Asks colleague about the job. Says, "I don't know. This guy is the one in charge." Candidate goes pale, looks at me, and changes to formal you. Sits up straight and says, "Ha? I thought you were the custodian." He did not get the job. One of my friends told me that one of the tricks his old university used when interviewing was to get a young-looking co-worker to pretend to be a student sent to get the candidate and take them to the room, and how they treated the student was a good indicator of how they would treat anyone they were in charge of. And ever since, I never get this type of attitude. At a job interview, I talk to everyone as if they play a role in my hiring. Even if I knew it was a custodian, I would still be polite. But I don't understand how he didn't get you were a professor when you said my classroom. Do janitors at most schools have their own classrooms and another janitor for different classes? Before you go away or enjoy my playlist of I Don't Work Here Lady videos, remember to subscribe to have a chance in winning one of the 8 Amazon gift cards I would give when we reach the 5,000 subscribers mark. Thank you for your support, and hopefully you can help me create better videos with your likes and comments. My name is Spicy, and I'm out.